So, another French opponent. I'm gonna be trying a different format for this video. I'm gonna be looking at a replay of how I played, so like a playback, and then I'm gonna go into the actual replay, in-game replay, to see what else that I missed. As usual, playing Japanese. You know, I felt really sluggish this game, maybe because I just woke up when I played this. But watching it back now, it seems normal, seems pretty standard speed. So this map is King of the Hill. It's one of those maps where like building stone walls is way more viable than other maps, because like from what I understand, right, is that stone walls on open maps like Dry Arabia, Sunkenland, what else is open? Like Carmel, those kind of maps, it's quite expensive to build stone walls, and it's just cheaper to just block off places with wooden walls, right? Like wooden walls obviously don't take as much damage as stone walls do. I mean, like they don't exactly keep out everything, but they do impede movement and allow you to react to opponents' like invasion of your base. So I thought my sheep gathering was like quite good here. I remember not running into his sheep, not his sheep, running into his scout at all. I'm not sure if he ran behind me or something like that, or he explored. Like, I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the actual in-game replay after this. So for those of you that don't know, King of the Hill has one single sacred point on the map, which is in the middle on the hill. I guess that's why it's called King of the Hill. You would have to play quite aggressively, I think, to get that point, because it is like a point of contest. So here I was quite proud of my sheep gathering, got quite a few. Scouting pattern wise, I decided to, instead of going through the middle and seeing his base, I just went around, because like they're French, they're not good at spear rushes, as I've mentioned before in the other videos. Yeah, so a split second of decision there. Do I build a Kura storehouse closer to the radius of the daimyo, or do I build right next to the wood line so I don't have to build a lumber camp? The scouting's not too bad. Some idle here and there. You know, I should be shift clicking these things. Just to let you guys know, I don't actually use shift as my like shift queuing command. I use alt. I swap those two around, shift and alt keys, because I use shift for other things. Yeah, this is kind of odd. Like finding a sheep on this side, so that means he didn't run down this way. He must have ran through the middle and then back around or something. I'm not sure. The thought process here was trying to chop wood to get the outpost up. As you can see here, I wanted to build barracks too. That's why, you know, there's quite a bit of villagers on wood. Spacing out houses for the farms later. I think from what I've gathered, it's actually kind of okay to have like one drop-off point for the food, for the farms, right? And then have two farms next to that, like in a vertical alignment. So it's not like the English farms where it's like there's the mill in the middle and then around in the 8 spaces you've got the farms. And that's like the most optimal way. Apparently it's okay to have like a bit of space between, like, you know, 2 farms and then 1 mill or 1 house. But I don't know, I feel like this is more efficient. Could be wrong though, the math. Yeah, 5 minutes in, I'm gonna gather some intel on his enemy with my scout. See his knights. Also, I made a mistake here. I built a archery range. I was meant to build a stables, to build horsemen to counter his archers that are coming out. But I ended up building archery range, just sticking with it. In hindsight, I reckon I should have just cancelled it. I think I just didn't realize till it was finished that it was a archery range. And I think I could have just built a stables afterwards immediately, just fix the mistake, right? But for some reason I decided to commit to an archery range and just build Yumis. I'm not sure if that was like the right call there. So here's me like walling off. In a previous game, a while back when I played on King of the Hill, I did like a really silly like kind of wall where I walled off like one resource after another because I wasn't sure how much map control the enemy had. But in this game I felt a bit more bold. I decided to like map off all the way on that side. It is risky. He could have like scouted this out, but I didn't see his scout at all. Yeah, trying to build a house here. I had some idle time. Ran to his knights. Probably should have been watching that more closely. Didn't want to lose a scout here because this mistake's kind of compounding, right? I mistakenly built an archery range instead of a stable. And now I've got to build a new scout, which means building a stable because I don't want to waste TC time from building villagers, right? So I just decided to play the game kind of blind here. Just go for straight spears. And the logic behind the Yumi archers was that if I have a mass of them and a bannerman on, you know, Yumi bannerman, I was hoping that this would counter their knights. Thinking like in hindsight now, I think the stable would have been much better. I should have just fixed that mistake. Now these walls that I'm building, I realized that like it kind of created like a choke point for myself. Yeah, I saw them coming. I was a bit late on the lost a villager here. Yeah, so I realized he was looping around and my spears were going to catch him, so I split off some spears, chased him off. Defense-wise, not too bad. Lost one villager. Had I been a bit quicker or had I placed the outpost a bit nearer to where I'm gathering my gold, that might be better. So that's something I should watch out for next time. Like the positioning of where I place my villagers when they're gathering gold. Here I decided to push out to try and like do some damage. You know, his knights can't fight my spears. Like at the moment, I'm massing them and he's massing knights. So we're at a stage in the game where he doesn't have archers yet. And I think I got kind of lucky here. Like my walls were almost finished. I think I lost the villager maybe building this wall. I must have because I'm not building it anymore. So I sent a villager to finish building. I guess he couldn't squeeze through that tiny gap. That's why he's torching my stuff. And yeah, him realizing that he can't push through. I decided not to stay any longer and just kind of leave because I didn't want him to like catch me off guard with his knights, and you know I might lose with the amount of spears that I had there and the 5 knights he has. I wasn't sure that was going to be a winning battle. So the age up comes through, floating gate. Hindsight, I think tempo equality might have been good here too, given how the game turns out, but you know, I had no way of knowing until it happened. I tried to find some harassment, some damage, but there wasn't like much worth. Like, I need to kill the knights. I need to find his knights and kill them. Right, so here they come. Way more than me. He backs off, realizing that he's gonna lose a lot of knights too. So the thing with playing against French, I realized like afterwards that like they're always gonna outboom me if I play 1TC, right? Because they get 30% faster production on their villagers. So the longer the game goes on, and as long as I'm on 1TC, his villagers are gonna just outproduce me, and he's gonna out macro, out eco me in the long run. And I'm not saying that this map is French-sided, because it is closed off, it's easy to build walls, raiding of knights, which is like the French specialty, right? Being aggressive in feudal age of knights. It makes it harder for him to raid. But because I'm playing Japanese, I think this map is just not good for Japanese in a way, because you can't build castles until Imperial, which is a kind of a big drawback, you know. Okay, I don't know how to brace. I thought my units would brace against his charge, but they didn't. So maybe I have to use the whole ground command. Yeah, so his archers start to come out, and I realize I can't chase the knights. His archer's gonna pick me off, you know. And obviously one Yumi isn't gonna do much. The archer's coming out. I can't chase them. I would just lose my spears, I think, if I just kept going on the TC, so I backed off here. Like, this walling right here, I remember, like, the walling kind of cocked me, not gonna lie. It kind of impeded my movement. And it was hard to get troops onto the hill because of the walls that were just in the way and just squeezing through my troops. In hindsight, thinking about it now, maybe I could have built more gates at that wall, and maybe that might have helped. Yeah, I think building more gates would have been a good idea, actually. So that's for next time, if I ever run into this situation again. Yeah, so I didn't make the same mistake as the previous game I played, where I built the walls way too close to my base. I pushed out a bit more and tried to like secure more resources behind the wall. But yeah, as I was saying, like this map feels kind of a bit unfair for the Japanese, just because I can't build castles onto the secret site. The relic gathering is coming through soon. That's good. I gathered 3 relics by the end of this game. I couldn't get the 4th one, unfortunately. And the 5th one is way too close to his base to get. Yeah, so I built a infantry bannerman, because that was going to counter him. The upgrades coming through, especially that range armor upgrade. I think that's very important, especially since he has archers. And I was building knights at this point, I think. Oh no, Onimusha. Now the Onimushas, they lose, right, cost effective wise to archers. And I was just fully focused, like dialed in on the knights, which weren't the biggest issues because I had spears. Those knights were definitely gonna lose the spears. I don't know what the logic was that like I was just trying to kill the knights faster, I guess. And see how these Onimushas, right? They're doing some damage to the knights, but not as much as I would like. So I had to back off with my Onimushas. Like, see his archers, they have way longer range than my horsemen do. Oh, not horsemen, Onimushas. And they therefore have the advantage. They can just outrange me and shoot me. So my Onimushas were not a good idea. I shouldn't have done this. I really should just build the stable, the bloody stables, and just wait for horsemen or like more mounted samurais. That came out a bit late. See, this trade here is not good. Oh, actually they have the same range. Oh, hold on. I thought they had shorter range. Or is that the Roos's horse archers? I'm not sure. So yeah, the wood gathering, that's for the stables and whatnot and the farm transition. Which, to be honest, I could have done a bit later. It didn't need to be this soon, but it would still good. Lumber camp needed to come down earlier onto the wood line. It's starting to spread out a bit. Like the walking distance is becoming a lot more impactful on my resource gathering rate for wood. Yeah, messing on the Musha, not exactly the best idea. Like, they still killed knights, not gonna lie. They still killed knights, but the archers was something I needed to deal with. And from my point of view, there's really two options dealing with archers, and that's gonna be horsemen, mounted samurais, or I mess Yumi's and I out archer him. Which, to be honest, it's not gonna be possible because with the French economy, they're gonna out-eco me anyway. They're gonna have more archers than I do with that economy. So, out-messing him with my Yumis probably wasn't a good idea. And like the spacing is quite tight. Like there's not much space, like maneuverability for my horsemen. Well, Onimushas, I mean. Get a bit pop capped here. It's a bit late. Yeah, I realized I fucked up the spacing for the farms. I wanted 2 farms in a row rather than 1, but that's okay. I started to mine some stone because I needed to get the Daimyo upgrade so that my farm can work faster and I'll have more, food production to support my army production. I think a good idea for me here would be to move out to the bottom side of my troop. Like, even if he attacked me in the middle, it's gonna take a while to get through, and my troop will come in from behind and get him. And that's even better. That's more of a favorable position for me because his archers will be behind him. But yeah, these stables needed to come out ages ago, same as the horsemen. That's good that I canceled the villagers there. Yeah, see what I mean by the choke point? Like, my troops pouring out like that, but it's just I can't get my troop fast enough into a fight, and that gives them the advantage. And now they're pouring back out, which leaves them exposed. So I need to build more gates for sure. More gates would be good. He's targeting my spearmen. You know, he's doing the charges back and forth. It's very good for French. He's not doing a straight up A move and just leaving it. So Onimusha here picking off the knights, thankfully. I think, yeah, this gate really cocked me. It really gave me the disadvantage. Like having to pour out like that, instead of having like a whole army that just goes right in and get the first strike. So the relics in the middle are gone. He gathered 2 relics. I managed to get 3. So I have the advantage of gold here. But honestly, French economy, I should have went 2 TC. I made the same mistake last time playing English versus French, where I tried to 1 TC the game and then I built a 2nd TC way too late. Like, I definitely had the resources to build a 2nd TC right here. That would have been really good. I should have built a 2nd TC earlier to try to catch up with that 30% villager production speed. And I realized that my economy just wasn't keeping up with him, eh? Like, no matter how much, like, if I kept constant production of my troop, it just wasn't enough to, like, fight him. And here he builds the castles, as you can see. Yeah, I think this map is just not good for Japanese. Like, well, you know, there's probably other reasons why it's good for Japanese in other ways, which I haven't found out yet. But for now, from what I see, not being able to build castles in Castle Age is kind of lame. Like, I couldn't do what he's doing right now and secure the area. Yeah. I don't think I should have engaged that fight. Like, I think I wasn't panicking, but I was feeling a bit pressured to try push the middle and try to get that castle down. When really I should have backed off and kept massing, because now his mass won, right? I had less units than he did, which meant he killed my units faster than he lost his units. So his mass is gonna be harder to even catch up now. Unfortunately, the big goal didn't spawn near to my base like one of the games I played. It spawned off to the side a bit. But that's okay, I still had gold to the mine. I had like 3 gold to mine on the outer layer of this King of the Hill map. Another thing is a siege workshop. That should have came out earlier, maybe like as soon as hit Castle Age, because had I had like 2 mangonels maybe, those would have really helped killing the ranged infantry. You know, those would have made a difference, but I built them later because I realized I needed them later. Like, I was looking for a solution out of this puzzle, and the solution came a bit late. So now, yeah, now I'm building the siege workshop. To be honest, I needed 2. I needed 2, and I didn't have the wood to build it yet, so 1 was enough, I guess. I should have pulled like maybe 10 villagers of food and just put on wood, which I think I do a bit later. Yeah, 2 castles are up. His production building's on there. He's captured the sacred site. Like, it's a bit of a downhill battle now. Was there anything else I could have done? Like, perhaps, you know, I could have come in from the bottom, maybe? The bottom side or the top side and try to flank around there and play around the edges. You know, let his troop be in the middle. And, you know, it would have been such a choke point at that point, too. So my first instinct, because I saw castles, right? I want to take down the castle so I can secure the sacred site, was to build a trebuchet and force a fight. As you can see, that's kind of disadvantage on my end. Because my walls weren't like far forward enough that there was enough space to pour my troop out into the battlefield. And like, I keep repeating this, but these walls and the gate really impeded my movement to attack him. I wish I had built more gates, like one or two more onto the middle one. I'm not sure if it fits like two, but I wish I had built more gates. That would have helped. So that's lesson learned. Build more gates at choke points. Yeah, so as you can see, my wood is on 34 villagers. That's one thing I've learned as well, is that if you have your troops sitting on secret site, the enemy can see them. So I saw his troop, I was able to analyze it, and it gave me like an idea of what to do. Now, what I could have done here was I could have moved my trebuchet down to the bottom and attacked his castle from the bottom. But I decided to attack it head on onto the battlefield. Honestly, like, the thought process was that I was gonna try bait him out away from the castle and try to fight here. But moving the trebuchet downwards and onto the other side would have been better, I think. Yeah, his springles can reach me. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, he's got obelisks and he's got archers. So I needed archers and horsemen of myself. You know, I managed to push into here, but his economy was just much better. He just, like, his obelisk just absolutely pierced my knights. My Yumis weren't, I mean, they were gonna win the archer battle, pretty sure. But his knights came back out. Honestly, looking back at this battle now, if I had a mangonel, just one mangonel, this would have, like, really made a difference. I was watching this video, this intermediate tip video from a guy called, I think his name is Clumsy Goldfish, and he says that siege units are like force multipliers, right? If you have like 0 units and you have a siege, that's 0 times like nothing. But if you have like 100 units and you add in siege, that's like a force multiplier. It makes your army stronger overall. But you need to have that army in the first place to get the multiplier. And yeah, fighting under 2 castles, like, I think castle could also be classified as force multipliers. Trebuchet should have came back much earlier, and given I was losing the battle, I could have saved that Trebuchet. And yeah, I pretty much lost my whole army there and had to rebuild. Had he pushed me here, I would have been kind of screwed, really. But he decided to play it safe. I'm floating wood now, which I think I spent on mangonels at this point, because I realized this was the solution. Like, to get through this infantry, I needed mangonels. The knights weren't too much of an issue. Like, back in that previous fight I had on the Mushas, I didn't have spears at all, but my modern samurais, I'm pretty sure, are stronger than royal knights. And I had 2k stone with nowhere to spend it. This should have been a town center ages ago, actually. Can't build a castle in Castle Age, which is kind of funny as hell. I know that Japanese castles, Japanese keeps are actually very strong, but you do need Imperial, and they do cost like wood as well with stone. Yeah, so 3 minutes until Secret Side victory for him. I got the mangonel out. It's a bit too little too late. Should have been in that previous fight instead of Trebuchet. It would have definitely like stomped his army if I had Trebuchet, not Trebuchet, had I mangonel the archers and the obelisk. Upleteer, I think that's what they're called. Yeah, keeping... Like, the moment I come out, I just get shredded by these crossbows. He splits up his army. He used the stagger formation. I'm not sure what it's called, but that helped for him, I think. And I thought it was safe to push out here, but really it wasn't. He was keeping me like pretty occupied in my base. And it was 2 minutes till victory for him. I need to push out. I need to do something. He played it safe and brought his troops back. You know, he's got a bunch of knights behind him. This is all I have left. Don't really have much food to deal with this either. I wish I had gotten the speed upgrade for the thing. And yeah, that's GG well played. Not much I can do now. Alright, let's have a look at the in-game replay and see if we can pick up anything else. Let's see what I missed. Let's speed this up. Ah, so his scout went bottom side and he missed the sheep here, I see. Right, so I did spot him, but I didn't see him. He went back into the thing quickly. So I scouted top, he scouted bottom, we kinda just did like a... Yeah, we kinda just did like the opposite things. Right, now I go bottom side. Right, that explains why I didn't find any sheep. Okay, oh, that's kinda obvious now that I see it. Oh, he decides to chop wood here? That's interesting. So he didn't go for the back wood, he went for the forward wood. Oh yeah, I mean it's in TC range. I guess going for... I would have went for this. Maybe he wanted to clear out the choke point, maybe. I'm not sure. Look at that mistake. This was supposed to be a stables. Yeah, I was scared to come out to get deer here because I thought I was going to get raided by knights. That's why I didn't move out, you know. No, I still stayed on berries and I went to this berry because I know that was more covered. I think in hindsight, I should have put a wall here. This wall would have helped. Because he just comes through and then comes around, right? There was a wall here, it might have helped. You know, trapping him a bit. I would have been able to trap him here and kill some knights. And it's definitely less wood intensive than building this whole bullshit. Right, so he gathers gold from here because he realized he had the... Oh, I missed. I should have attacked. So he moved back as soon as I came in. I didn't get a chance to do some damage. Yeah, 6 knights, 7 spears. These were definitely gonna lose, but he didn't want to fight either. Right, he builds 2 archery ranges. I think it was a good idea that I didn't push into this. I would have lost all my units. He's ahead in 3 villagers. He's killed 3 of mine. This is where he gains like majority of map control. Like, look at my unit count versus his. Like, they're technically even, but he's got knights, and these are spears, right? I need like 2 or 3 spears per knight. Yeah, so he just stays with castle there. Guildhall on gold, so he wasn't going imperial. Normally you put Guildhall into food so that you get a free imperial age up after a while. Right, so he builds a castle here. I don't think I could contested this. I had the same amount of army, but these counted my spears, and my Onimusha wasn't going to kill these veteran archers. So my unit comp really lost me the game, I would say. Had this been a stable, I would have had horsemen instead, and maybe I could have done some, you know, kind of shenanigan of those horsemen, like come in from behind or something like that. Right, he's walling off his base, gather his relics. Yeah, this fight, if I had won this, I would have gotten the relics, but oh well. We did a pretty good job keeping me away up from the middle, pushing me into base. I don't think he could have pushed. I think he would have died if he pushed me. Like, he would have lost his army. His knights are pretty dead. How many knights does he have? 2. The 2 knights, had these been horsemen, it might have made a difference, rather than Yumi's. But, you know, it was hard to get through now that he's got a bunch on gold. He's up 4 villagers, actually. That's not too bad. Let me check. Let's flip this around. Up 5 villagers. You know, I thought that it might have made way more of a difference. Okay, so he's got a lot of stone. Oh, his stone is really getting up there. And he's building his walls now. You know what? I thought that I needed 2 TC, but it feels like when I'm not that far behind villagers. I am behind, but not like by 20 or 30. Only by 7. Yeah, a mangonel here would have won me the fight. A mangonel here would have allowed me to like run through, attack his villagers and stuff. But I just got overwhelmed. That's interesting. Okay, so 2 TC would still have been good. Especially with this amount of stone that I have in Castle Age that I can't build castles with. So 2 TC would have been actually quite good, and I would have outboomed him. I thought his economy was way ahead, but turns out it's not. It's actually kind of comparable. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Like now he's starting to see a difference. Okay, so he idled his TC a few times. Let's see. Well, I mean, he was on almost 100 villagers. I guess he didn't need to build more. I mean, I know you're supposed to build between 100 to 150 for some games, depending on the games.